Effects of Nazi propaganda. How propaganda influenced the German people into supporting the Nazi Party. To understand the Nazi Party, it's really important to understand Adolf Hitler. Adolf Hitler was the leader of the Nazi Party and was fought for the German army in World War I, and he was a very nationalistic person and really supported strength and prosperity in Germany. And after Germany lost World War I, he was furious, with the result being the Treaty of Versailles, which was a treaty written by the winners of World War I, which basically made Germany take the entirety of blame for the war. Hitler thought this was extremely unfair, like many Germans, and began his career in politics. He eventually published his memoir, Mein Kampf, which was a book that pretty much talked about what his ideal vision for Germany was. And he was very radical. He believed that it was the Jews' fault for Germany's struggles, and that since the Jews, who in general control a lot of the wealth in the world, but especially in Germany, were the reason that Germany had been struggling, because they were at the top controlling all the wealth, while the Aryan German was at the bottom just paying the price for everything that happened. When he published Mein Kampf, he got actually imprisoned by the German government, and that only helped his voice, as the people thought they were silencing him as well. Eventually, Hitler did take power, and he appointed Joseph Goebbels as his Minister of Propaganda. And Joseph Goebbels had a very important role in Germany. But prior to Hitler working with Joseph Goebbels, the Nazi vote in the country was only 800,000 in 1928. However, by 1930, that vote had multiplied by 8 times to 6.4 million. And he had eventually, when the Nazis took power, and he was appointed as head minister of propaganda, he had complete control of films, religion, art, books, and theater. And some of the films he published were The Triumph of the Will, which is a very famous film that was pretty much seen across the world as like, oh my God, Germany is here, and they're here to stay. He also had complete control over religion as well, which meant that all the Nazis, they hated Jews, and Jews began to be sent to concentration camps and systematically killed because of stuff Joseph Goebbels did. And then, as well as probably the biggest part of his control, was the Nazi indoctrination of youth, which was Nazi schooling. And with Nazi schooling, basically, he influenced every single young mind that came through German schools that were completely corrupted. They were brainwashed. They were taught how into a state of conformity, and how being conformed into the German state is extremely important, and how fighting and dying for the cause is to be honored. And this is entirely because of Joseph Goebbels. To understand this, every single thing that came across a German student's desk came across Joseph Goebbels' desk first. So you were completely at his whims, and that played a huge point in all their education. So